my head. I mean, could you spin on your head like that? That's incredible. So, well, good morning. Is everybody feeling fresh as a daisy today or what? Got 9 hours of sleep last night? Everybody's good? I heard there were some great dinners. There was a little gambling. The CEO of MGM sent me a thank you note last night. All the money you people lost. I thought we had a great first day, and we're incredibly happy to have you back here today. We're going to talk about more innovation. We have Liz coming back up, and she's going to do some great demos, right, Liz? Great demos. And then G2 and Todd are bringing the comedy show back, and they're going to talk about hybrid work. And we're looking forward to that. And then we have two first-time speakers at Cisco Live. Tamaya Subaya, who I told you is going to talk about customer experience. And our CMO, Carrie Palin, who's going to be interviewing Mindy Kaling. So you want to stick around for that. So I think it's going to be insightful, inspirational, and my guess is there'll be some humor in it as well. As we kick off today, I just want to talk a little bit about something we touched on yesterday. Our purpose as an organization and some things that are very important to all of us, I know. And again, our purpose is to power an inclusive future for all. You heard Jonathan talk yesterday about the digital divide and how there are over 3 billion people on a global basis who still don't have connectivity. Lots of people in the United States, lots of children that we discovered through the pandemic who couldn't be educated because they didn't have broadband or technology. We need to do something about it. Our teams also show up in the communities every day around the world. And in fact, we do it with a lot of you. I hear great stories about our teams that are out working together, whether it's our customers with us or our partners with us or us with you on the things that you care about. And I just think it's really fantastic how that plays out. We also care deeply about inclusion, and it shows up in everything that we do inside of our organization as well. The other thing that we also know that is very important to all of us is the sustainability focus. And we, like many of you, have announced our net zero commitments. Net zero scope 1 and 2 by 2025 and all scopes by 2040. And even at this conference this week, we're announcing some new technology that will help you achieve your goals. The one thing that I have been blown away by is that once we announced our commitment, all of our engineering teams got extremely fired up about it. And we hear all these great ideas coming out of our engineering teams proactively about what can we do to the products? How can we build our products differently? How can we build them in a way that helps our customers achieve their own net zero aspirations? So this week in the data center, we're announcing the Nexus 9800, which is 54 times more efficient from a power perspective. We're announcing a lot of smart buildings work. We're combining PoE and your traditional power networks inside of buildings. We can reduce your energy by 45%. And obviously, we're going to hear from G2 and Todd today talking about hybrid work, which can not only cut down on the commute time and our carbon emissions, but can save you $5 a gallon right now. So there's a lot of great stuff going on. And why don't we take a look at what we think is possible if we all work together?
Humans and nature. We're in this together. Yet nature has given and given. It's our turn to do more. Cisco Smart Building Solutions and our partners' technology benefit both humans and nature. Catalyst switches connect securely, delivering power over Ethernet, reducing costs and greenhouse emissions. Cisco Wireless and DNA Spaces use intelligent automation, creating efficiencies that help the workplace and the planet. And collaboration tools enable hybrid work, decreasing environmental impact. Sustainability is essential to powering an inclusive future for all. That's why Cisco is committed to achieving net zero emissions by 2040. Between meeting human needs and a sustainable future, there's a bridge. Cisco, the bridge to possible.
Thank you. The other thing that we all know is important for all of us are skills in education. We need more people that we can hire in our own organizations that have the skills that we need. We need to spend time educating our children on technology, as every job in the future is going to have some aspect of technology skill required. And as most of you know, we have a program called Network Academy that is celebrating its 25th anniversary this year. We'll finish this fiscal year with 3.5 million students. 3.5 billion would be really impressive, though. 3.5 million students on a global basis who will go through that program during the last 12 months, and we're really excited about that. And when you talk to these kids, or these adults, 95% of them would tell you that they have either gotten a job or gotten a better job as a result of going through the program. So we're going to continue to invest in that. And we're also excited about partnerships that we're able to form with schools that are doing very unique things. And we have a few of these, but today we're going to announce a new partnership with someone that you will know who is starting a school in Virginia for underserved youth. Let's take a look.
Yellow is the color of the sun. It's light, it's warmth. Yellow is a light bulb, illumination, inspiration. Yellow is my promise to even the odds for kids through education.
Yellow Hab is about the students embracing and engaging the yellow lens of possibility. We are reimagining education, and to do that, we need like-minded partners.
Cisco is driven by innovation and imagination, but our purpose is to power an inclusive future for all. Cisco shares Yellow Hab's vision of inclusivity, and we are so happy to announce our partnership to provide state-of-the-art networking, collaboration, and security tools for Yellow Hab and its students.
Partnering with companies like Cisco that really believe in what we're doing is what we're all about. And we're just getting started, so let's make it happen.
Now, we may or may not have Pharrell Williams joining us today, so welcome, Pharrell. How are you?
Morning, Chuck. Morning, everybody. Or good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is.
It is 8:45 in the morning here. And, you know, we got, Pharrell is like really great to do this because he's on the front end of this 3 or 4 day festival in Washington, D.C. celebrating Juneteenth. So we appreciate you spending time with us. And hey, I also saw Pharrell as a side note. This is off script, but the Rolling Stone printed the article that you and I did the interview for the other day, so it was very nice. Saw that this morning as well. But
Thank you.
Your vision for Yellow and Yellow Hab, what was the specific inspiration for that? What led you to do what you're doing right now?
Well, first of all, good morning and thank you, Chuck, for this opportunity. And thank you to all the good people in that room, the Cisco folks. Thank you. You know, we started Yellow some years back because I had like traveled all around the world and had different kinds of experiences and met all kinds of people. And the one thing you realize is that everybody learns differently. Everyone in that room processes information very differently. And that is one of the biggest reasons I feel like, you know, a lot of our children in school slip between the cracks because, you know, the current curriculum may not serve them. And I think as educators, because I'm not an educator, I'm a galvanizer. But as educators, I think that the expectation needs to be that you meet the child in the intersection of how they process information. And so we started out with like summer camps some years back, and it just evolved because we really needed to get focused, and we knew we couldn't do that with the amazing STEM program that we have. We couldn't do that without like the right kind of partners at the table with us at the ready, like Cisco.
Yeah, that's great. And so what do you think the opportunities are for these kids? I know you like to talk about evening the odds and the opportunities that we can provide in education today and how it needs to evolve. Because I know you're a galvanizer, but you also have ideas about education.
Yes. So, ladies and gentlemen and fellow human beings in the room, what Chuck's referring to is, we're a sensory-based program. And for us, it's like, there are visual learners, there are auditory learners, there are graphic learners, like people who love to read, but there are people who are visual, who like to see the content. There are kinesthetic learners, people who learn in repetition. And so the thing is that if you weren't one of those kids that was more of a graphic learner when you were young, you didn't really do good in school. What does that do to your self-esteem, and what does that do to your life's trajectory? And so what we want to do is come up with what we have is a sensory-based assessment program. So we figure out how you process information, and then sensory-based curriculum to take you to K through 12. We're between 3 and 5 now, 3rd and 5th grade now, but we're going to graduate and eventually get to 12. But that's really what this is all about. And by the way, I mean, this is 2022. I mean, how do you not do it with technology? And who's the best in the game? It's everybody in that room.
That's great. So, Pharrell, I'm going to ask you a final question. I know that you just talked about a little bit about why our partnership is important to you, and then I'd love it if you tell the story about back watching the commercials years ago that motivated your naming that you shared with me a couple days ago.
Well, first of all, I just love the fact that Cisco is leaning in to the communities the way that you guys are. I know you guys hear that word a lot, diversity, inclusion and equity. But I just want you to know, while you're busy in your offices, you should just know that this is a company and a brand that actually really loves it and is really out there really doing the work. If that were not so, Yellow would not have an amazing partner that we do in Cisco. So just so you know, you should clap for yourselves.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had just shared with Chuck in our interview, he didn't know this, but, I've always been inspired by Cisco commercials since I was a little boy, because the commercials were so forward and so of the future. It was like looking at something that Ray Kurzweil would have written, or Isaac Asimov. It was just another level. It was like things of the future, Cisco systems, and someone's like talking into their watch. And this was, way before, we have the phone watches that we do now. This was years and years and years ahead of its time. And even my brand, Human Race, we were inspired, well, I was inspired by seeing this commercial that you guys did some years later about the human element. I just thought that was so inspiring that you guys decided to make a human element in the periodic table and to take inspiration and sort of show humanity what it can do. I mean, essentially, every time you see a Cisco commercial, I know I'm acting like I work there. Maybe I want a job.
He's hired.
Every time you see a Cisco commercial, it's really the mirror of humanity's future. What you guys are doing is showing everybody the potential of our species should we continue to work together. And so, in signing off, I'll say bye, but man, you guys, if you really believe in the things that we're talking about here, because your company really stands up, you should stand up and applaud right now.
Pharrell, thank you, buddy. Good luck with your festival. Thanks for being with us. Carrie, I think you need to get him to shoot a commercial for us, for Pete's sake. Good Lord. Yes. So many years ago, when I became CEO, we stood on stage at Cisco Live and talked about positively impacting 1 billion lives through the programs that we've already been talking about: education, community, nonprofits, social impact grants. And so we are currently at 761 million. And I want to make sure that you understand, with all the focus on ESG these days, we actually, a couple of years ago, our audit committee on the board actually came to me and said, if you're going to proclaim this billion people impact thing, we want to make sure it's accurate. And so they're actually auditing it, as is our external auditor. So we're really thrilled that since we launched that, we're at 716 million, and we have a little bit of ways to go before we get to that billion in 2025. And if you want to contribute, in the world of solutions, there's a social impact zone where you can actually do some things, take some action to help some of the people who are less fortunate here in the Las Vegas area. So, as I wrap my portion today, I just want to say thank you again to all of you. I want to thank you for being our partners. Thank you for being our customers. Thank you for all you achieved in the last 2.5 years, helping keep your organizations and the world running. I want to thank you for being here with us, spending all the time you are with us. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you feel like it's been a good use of your time. You're going to see more great innovation from our teams today, and I hope that I get to see all of you here next year, but please stick around because we have a great rest of show for you today. Thank you.
Good morning. I wonder how you can sit in those seats without dancing. I wanted to do that, but didn't want to embarrass my peers and myself here as well. Over the last 35 years, Cisco has been on this fantastic voyage. I mean, if you think about it, we've taken every opportunity to look at how technology can enable even more so. And even from our earliest days, we've taken technology to leverage and see how we can actually create positive impact on a global scale. So we're going to do things a little bit different today. I'm going to have the opportunity, along with Tim Zaghetti, who's going to come up here in a little bit, to talk to you about the stuff that we're still building. We've released some stuff into open source, but it's still early in its adoption. And usually we take a little bit of time before we actually bring it out and showcase it to you. We also are going to touch a little bit on stuff that's in research, things that we're experimenting with. So we're taking a little bit of a chance here to see, does that resonate with you or not? You can give us your feedback on, is this something that you would like us to talk about more and more so? So yesterday I talked about experiences. And I mentioned a little bit about how experiences are going to get a lot more immersive, more augmented, more virtualized. We're actually not that far off when you think about it, about immersive, social, and entertainment experiences. A lot of us hear about the talk about virtual travel. I don't know as much about virtual travel, but there's a side benefit from an ESG impact. Training and education in this immersive world will take a completely new dimension, as will workplace collaboration and engagement as well. Remote surgeries, I hope we get there sooner than later, because that's going to revolutionize healthcare. I've been in IoT before where we've talked about digital twins. So many industries out there are adopting digital twins. But as we digitize more and more, it will actually revolutionize manufacturing. And a digital goods economy is not really that far away. So what we want to talk about is how application performance, security, and trust will be at the center of all of it. And so we're going to first start talking about how we're enabling a digital-first, API-first application economy. When you think about it, why do we care about APIs so much now? If you've been in software development, yeah, we know APIs. But we think and talk about APIs and we care about it a lot more because APIs gives us the ability to add services from anywhere and anyone. Think about it. You can leverage services that you don't need to build, from public clouds, from SaaS clouds, from third parties as well. You take these services, your own homegrown services, you create microservices that helps you build your applications. It's a beautiful world. You can scale your applications to millions of users. You can add new services, you can drop services without taking your application down. APIs are a core table stakes requirement in this world. But your IT stack needs to evolve to also think about both security and observability, but also around connectivity, around API and services, how you discover them, how you connect them, how you observe them as well. And as the number of services in your applications grows, cloud-native technologies use capabilities like service meshes so that you can manage the communications and optimize across the number of services that continue to grow as you scale to more users and as you're adding more capabilities into your application. But what it does is it also brings a lot more complexity and operational costs. And this is why we built two new tools, Callisti and Panoptica. And to talk about this, I think this is a good time, Tim. Why don't you come join me on stage? Please welcome our principal engineer, Tim Zaghetti.
Thank you, Liz.
So Tim, what's it been like 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, I think about
that we
3
did
years,
this?
too long.
Yeah, way too long.
Yeah.
And we had a little bit of trouble at that time doing a live demo, so gonna keep my fingers crossed here.
I know.
So we built Callisti
Yes.
as a service mesh manager to discover, observe, and secure service meshes. So do you want to talk about that a little bit more?
Yeah, exactly. You see, for decades, as you know, and everyone here knows, Cisco has been a leader in networking and security technologies. We connect our end users to the applications that we care about and love so much. But now Cisco is extending that leadership to the challenges, the internal challenges of networking and security within these cloud-native application architectures, which is why we've built these solutions that we're going to showcase today.
Awesome. And as more and more microservices grow, so do the number of APIs.
Absolutely.
And we hear very often that APIs are becoming the #1 threat that's out there, increasingly so. Probably the majority of the organizations are talking about it's more than a 90% incidence that they're seeing as it relates to. And that's why we built Panoptica, to be able to, again, secure APIs, but also kind of comparing it against open API specs as well.
Exactly so. And then the exciting thing that also enables is a shift left in security, because we're able to then embed security-centric or conscious decisions earlier in the software development lifecycle, and that's a win-win for everyone involved. But Liz, we can talk about this, or we could take a look at these solutions in action.
And let's do that, because you're a network engineer.
Yes.
So you're going to
24 years this month at Cisco, Liz. Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
So you're going to tell everyone why they should actually care about this, even though it's in the early stages of adoption.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
So please go set up.
Okay, very good.
So as Tim sets up, could everybody just keep their fingers crossed and say a little prayer? Because we do want this live demo to work so that we don't have to go to our backup plan, i.e. our flash demo. All right, Tim, take it away.
Very good. So the key advantages that Callisti, our Cisco Service Mesh Manager, is bringing me as a as an application operator is integrated visibility. I have a single pane of glass. It's very evident just by taking a look. I see my whole application environment, and I don't need one pane to see my topology, another pane to see the health and metrics. I see everything, all my services are represented as circles. Green is healthy, other colors are not so much. But at a quick glance, I can see my whole environment. Now, this particular application is a movie ticketing application. So it's humming along very nicely right now, and I can zoom in on all of these microservices and see how they're behaving. And I might say, okay, I see that I'm getting a steady rate of traffic, but what happens when tickets go on sale for the next summer blockbuster? Is my application going to be able to keep up and handle, and what's going to happen? I would really want to know that as an operator. So I can inject, for instance, I can pound the load on this thing and take a very close look at seeing everything that's going to happen. I can inject load, I can inject latency, I can inject faults, I can inject errors, and we're going to see this all happening live. And that way, I get a better sense of my application's availability, its resiliency, its performance, and all of these factors so that I can deliver the optimal experience that our customers are demanding of modern applications. But more than this too, I can enable advanced use cases very easily. For example, let's consider an advanced use case that's called a canary deployment. I have 3 versions, for instance, of this movie application, V1, V2, and V3. And rather than just cutting over to a new version as soon as it's available, I might want to de-risk that upgrade to gradually manage my traffic over to these new versions of the application. Now, traditionally, I could do this if I'm a certified Kubernetes administrator. I could do this very easily by, just navigating and editing YAML files to define my service. That's one way I could go. Or I could simplify that whole process and just use Callisti, which makes it very easy. I'll say, okay, version 1, maybe I want to continue to steer the bulk of my traffic to version 1 of my app, maybe 30% to V2, and then V3 is just came available. I really want to observe it in production before I commit heavily to it, and this is called a canary deployment. It's considered a very advanced use case for service mesh traffic management, but it's very, very easy to do and very quick, as you've just seen. And then finally, as a network engineer, my absolute favorite feature of Callisti is the traffic tap. All of these microservice intercommunications, well, virtually all of them are going to be encrypted. You want them all to be encrypted. There might be some in clear text, but at the same time, I need to have visibility as an operator. There may be times when I have to really drill down deep and see what's going on and understand that in depth. And so this is basically like a Wireshark to my cloud-native application architecture. And then not only do I see all the packets that are going by, but I can double-click on them, see all even layer 7 attributes, requests, responses, and with a single click, I can see the packet as part of a broader conversation and where it fits in contextually, giving me those insights as well.
Love it. So you started off by promising us the simplicity, intuitiveness. I love that. So you don't need to get a bazillion certifications to be able to do this, and add advanced use cases. So thanks for actually showing us what you talked about and you promised us.
Excellent. So let's shift gears now and talk about security. Now we're shifting over to Panoptica, our cloud-native security solution. When I log in, I'm presented with a dashboard that summarizes my vulnerabilities and my overall environment by pods. And this includes also container vulnerabilities such as images, dependencies, libraries, and so forth. I can summarize and see my vulnerabilities for my application programming interfaces, which we were just talking about. Almost every analyst is recognizing this as like one of the major threat vectors for modern applications that's emerging, as well as even any vulnerabilities for serverless functions. Now I can see this as a summarized dashboard, or if I prefer, I can also present this information in what's known as the MITRE ATT&CK framework. This is a well-known industry framework that describes different cyber attack vectors, and it shows me which ones I'm protected against, as indicated by these checkboxes, or which ones I'm vulnerable to. And not only does it tell me how I'm vulnerable, or why I'm vulnerable, or even where I'm vulnerable, it makes it very easy to address and repair that vulnerability just with a few clicks. For example, you see here, just with 3 or 4 clicks, I've protected my organization from a very, very well-known vulnerability. And again, I don't have to be a Kubernetes cybersecurity expert to do that. Another way that we're shifting security left and enabling powerful security awareness and functionality is by recognizing that we have different personas that are managing these environments. So we present views, for instance, for site reliability engineers, and they can see all the things that they traditionally care about, but with a simple toggle switch, we can present them a view of their entire environment that is security-centric. They could see exactly where their vulnerabilities are when it comes to their pods or containers, which communication flows are encrypted, which ones are not, which ones have been blocked by policy or have triggered other alerts. And so we're bringing all this awareness so that they too can make security conscious decisions. And then finally, if I may, we talked about APIs. Cisco is the only one that has a cloud-native security solution that includes API assessment. We take information from Cisco Talos, the biggest security resource in the world, as well as Cisco Umbrella and third parties like BitSight, and we can identify vulnerabilities in our APIs, whether they're network vulnerabilities or application vulnerabilities. We can summarize these, and whether they're internally developed APIs or external ones that we've selected to integrate with, we can identify these and present policies that can say, okay, only allow low-risk APIs to be enabled in our organization or whatever it may be. And that way, we can present a curated list to developers so that they don't have to be burdened doing security research. They can focus on what they do best, rapid application development, but still make secure decisions when they're choosing the APIs to interface with for their applications.
Love it. First of all, thanks for doing a live demo for us. I know that's a little nerve-wracking.
Yes.
You know what I love about this the most, though? Is
what's that?
It helps reduce the friction between developers who just want to move really quick, and SecOps is focused on the security and compliance. Again, thanks a lot, Tim.
Very good. Thanks so much, Liz.
So to be able to do things like Panoptica, you do actually need to discover the APIs, and this is why we've developed a tool called API Clarity, which we put in open source. So API Clarity helps you discover API traffic, the vulnerability assessment of it, and to compare your open API specs as well. Panoptica also uses a tool called Kube Clarity for visibility and vulnerability of Kubernetes-based environments. Now, we contributed both the API Clarity and Kube Clarity to open source. Our commitment to open source is really around to assess for or to drive more for an API-first future. Building out a thriving open source community is absolutely key. Now, in the process of improving the quality of our own APIs, our developer relations team developed this capability called API X Manager. They're previewing it here at Cisco Live, so please go and take a look. The whole idea is, how do you shift left? How do you take these tools and integrate it into your development environment? So for us, it's key around the commitment and support for open source community, as well as for you as our developers to be able to consume and take part in Cisco projects as well. All right, I'm going to segue here and touch a little bit on some of the things that we're experimenting, some of the things that we're researching with as well. And I'll touch on a few. Chuck touched on sustainability. If we could go to the next slide, please. So I'm going to touch on a few of the others as well. You hear us talk about AI ML a lot. We do that in networking, in security, in collaboration, in applications, for automation, for assurance, for troubleshooting, for all of it as well. AI and ML have so much potential in being able to actually accelerate innovation, but it's got its risk as well. And we at Cisco feel like we have a responsibility to the community in making sure that our developers who are actually gathering the information, storing it, building the models for it, are committed to applying these technologies responsibly. And last year, we launched what's called the Responsible AI Framework as a guideline for our own developers. And the Responsible AI Framework is based on 6 principles of accountability, trust, transparency, fairness, privacy, security, and reliability as well. I hope everyone can join Cisco because it needs a community to be able to drive responsible AI forward. In quantum, we're focused on researching and development of quantum networking and quantum cryptography as well. We're researching packet-switched quantum networks to potentially connect quantum processors and sensors. Our view is that it's quite possible to be able to have quantum networks and conventional networks sit side by side as well. We're, by the way, also researching and working on quantum key distribution solutions as well. In LeoSat, for that matter, this is really about our vision of aiming to deliver always-on connectivity anywhere in the world. IoT sensors should be able to connect seamlessly and consistently without wired or even cellular networks for that matter. I mean, think about it. In the past, you have endpoints and network that were both static. With our great wireless technology, we've actually made the endpoints mobile. Now we're envisioning a future where the network moves as well. And lastly, in metaverse, we're working on a number of things on how do we enable the metaverse. This is VR infrastructure, metaverse security, data visualization, and data exploration technologies as well. And by the way, AR and VR as part of our hybrid work solutions is not that far away. And with that, I think it's a great time to hand over Jeetu, who's going to join us on stage, and Todd's coming from somewhere in the metaverse over WebEx. Thank you.
Hello. Can we make some noise? All right. While we're waiting for that coming up, they gave me a choice. They said in the opening act, Jeetu, you can be in the opening act or you can be in the hybrid work keynote. I chose the hybrid work keynote because that was a bad joke. That didn't work out. All right. So welcome my friend Todd, who's over here with me. Todd, you're on WebEx.
I thought it was a great joke, man. I'm just excited to be joining, embracing hybrid work, joining via WebEx, Jeetu.
There you go. And so what we're going to talk about today is hybrid work. And let's just take a step back. And we are in the third phase of this journey. The first phase was when we were actually, all working in the office. The second phase was overnight we started working at home. And we're now in the third phase, where sometimes people are going to work from home, sometimes people are going to work in the office, sometimes they're going to be somewhere in the middle. But the reality is hybrid work today doesn't quite work. Let me give you a couple examples of what happens where it doesn't completely work as smoothly as we'd all like it to. Let's say there were 4 people in a conference room and 3 people that are remote. What's the most instinctive thing the people do that are in the conference room? Well, one of them gets up and starts whiteboarding. 3 people that are remote now have no idea what's going on, right? Another area where it doesn't work, let's say that there's a big, long table in a conference room. Non-visual communication, non-verbal communication is such a big deal of how we all connect with each other. And so you're in a big, long table in a conference room, someone's sitting all the way in the back, and now all of a sudden you can't see the person's facial expressions, you can't see their body language, and before you know it, you're feeling disconnected. You don't feel like you're actually completely included in the conversation. Todd, what are you seeing?
Like when you're working at home, like I am now, I feel like there's this enormous distraction as you become your own IT admin. I live in constant fear that my cable modem's going to kick off and I'm going to get, dropped from a very important Cisco Live meeting. And even when I do call IT, they don't always have the tools they need because I'm not on their infrastructure. They don't have the same kind of visibility into my experience, and they can't help me. And I'm really stuck. I mean, it is hard. Hybrid work doesn't work yet.
And so the question that we all have to ask ourselves is, what do we do to make hybrid work work? Right, and that's what we're going to spend the next few minutes talking about. And before we jump into the details, what I thought I'd do is we recently acquired a technology called Slido, which is now part of the WebEx suite. And the WebEx suite, for those of you folks that aren't familiar, gives you meetings, messaging, calling, polling, Q&A, events, whiteboarding, async video, all for the price of less than Netflix. And we're not even raising our prices. So when you start thinking about that, what we wanted to do was get your perspective. So all of you folks, if you can, for just this part of the session, take a picture of the QR code or go to slido.com and enter in CL22 and answer the one question that we had for you, which is how prepared is your organization for hybrid work today in your perspective? We'll come back to this question a little bit later in the session so that we can see real time what 16,000 people over here and the folks that are online felt as well. Todd, any thoughts?
We know, and we're experiencing this deeply at Cisco, that hybrid work is not something that's going to be solved. It's not something that's going to be worked by any single team. The IT group, HR, facilities, all have to come together to deliver the best possible hybrid work experience, to think deeply about the culture changes that have to happen, to deliver a holistic solution while leveraging collaboration software and hardware, best-in-class networking and security and visibility tools. It's going to take all of this technology, but also an entire organization to really move our teams into the best possible experience for hybrid work.
Now, as Todd mentioned, this is going to be a completely integrated approach for hybrid work. Now, one of the things that we have to keep in mind with hybrid work is the way in which we think about reimagining workspaces is a big, big deal, and how fluid hybrid work is going to be. And the workspaces aren't going to look like the way that they looked in the past. And one of the areas where we have to think about reimagining workspaces is the home. If you think about the home, we've all had a lot of experience working at the home, whether it's in the bedroom or the kitchen or the home office, where you want to make sure that you can reduce the friction and make sure that you feel more immersed. And what we've done is the team has innovated an enormous amount over the course of the past few years in building an array of devices that we can actually make sure that we can enrich people's experiences while they're at home. So we've built these purpose-built devices, unlike what we've done in the past, because the way that we've worked in the home in the past is we've all been hunched over our laptop. And that's no way to spend 8 to 10 hours a day working. And so what we wanted to do was make sure that the experience was less fatiguing and more immersive. And how do you make that happen? Well, so if you had high quality video, if you had great spatial audio, if you had great ways of going out and really engaging in a conversation where you weren't tethered to your chair, if you got up, the camera would follow you. Those are all things that make the fatigue factor go down dramatically. So what we've done is said, let's build purpose-built devices, just like Amazon Kindle built a purpose-built device for reading a book. We're building purpose-built devices for making sure that you can engage from home in a hybrid work setup. Now, if you haven't experienced this, it's really hard to explain this. If you haven't experienced it, please go to the booth and try it out. I'm sure you're going to love it.
I've been using my room bar at home basically the whole pandemic, man. It's been getting me through. It has been getting me through, so I love it. Look, when we look at the home experience, we think deeply about how to expand the enterprise footprint to the home, about how to make the home the new micro branch so that we get a true enterprise experience, an enterprise hybrid work experience for every user working from home. Here in my house, I've got a Meraki teleworker router, SD-WAN router, and it is an enormous, enormous weight off my shoulders because I know if my cable modem goes out, it's going to flip over to cellular backup seamlessly. And that is incredibly important. It also prioritizes traffic, so Netflix or Hulu will never be able to interfere with my WebEx connection to Cisco Live. I've also got ThousandEyes, an endpoint agent on my laptop, so that if something goes wrong, and even if I didn't have any kind of Cisco infrastructure, if something did go wrong, IT would be able to detect it proactively, even before I sat down in the morning and start to remediate and solve that problem, so I have the best application experience when I did get to the office. This is the idea of bringing an enterprise experience into the home, turning it into a micro branch, and building the best possible hybrid work experience.
Now, one of the things that can be hard when we're thinking about hybrid work is how do you make sure that you have a creative brainstorming session that can happen? This is where people feel the distance the most. Because what ends up happening is, you want to make sure that you can ideate together, you can brainstorm together, and whiteboarding, like I said earlier, is one of those areas where the people that are remote start feeling disconnected. So what I'm going to do is show you a demo where Todd and I have been working on a plan to ship some software and hardware. And so we're going to show you a demo of a whiteboard. This, by the way, this is a purpose-built whiteboard device that also acts as a video conferencing device. And if I just click on this, this is our whiteboard.
And I'm up too.
Go ahead, Todd.
I'm up too on my whiteboard, and man, you got to admit, this has a real authenticity of work in progress on this thing.
You could start scribbling things, and the beauty about this whiteboard is you'll have multiple people that can real time engage in a whiteboard, and it's very tactile. So
I already deployed my my Z3C, so I'm just going to drag that to complete. How do you feel about that?
I love that, man. And then what we want to do over here is make sure that these are areas where multiple people can not just engage and co-author and co-edit, but ideally this whiteboard starts to replace every analog whiteboard in every conference room. And if that happens, the world gets to be a smaller place. Distance goes away. People feel like they can create and be creative and brainstorm even when they're thousands of miles apart. Todd, now you have a room bar in your room over there as well, don't you? And you're working on your iPad with this whiteboard, so.
Well, I have the new room bar, which is beautiful, but the setup is so key. You got to check it out. Here, I'm going to add it to our whiteboard. This setup is so clean, and this picture, you're going to love it so much, man. I'm just going to put it right here on the whiteboard. You have it?
I have it right there. There's a good-looking guy over there. He's lost some hair over the years, but, you know, what you going to do? There you go. So anyway, these are kind of examples of how you can go out and co-author, co-edit. And Todd, are you going to come in the office, or you're going to just kind of be hanging out from WebEx the whole time?
Don't get me wrong. My WebEx experience, my hybrid work experience is so good, but I just can't help myself, man. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Awesome. By the way, some trivia about Todd. He loves being in person, and I love being at home. So this was kind of a reversal of roles. All right. So one other area in the hybrid work scenario that we should keep in mind is what we showed you was all WebEx technology, but that's not usually how the world works. Because sometimes you're going to have our technology that needs to work with other investments that you've made within your organization. So if you happen to have something like a Miro or a Mural from a whiteboarding, capability perspective, we will integrate with those just as well. We want to make sure that we believe in a multi-vendor ecosystem. You don't have to buy everything from Cisco, but when you do buy things from Cisco, they work beautifully together, but if you don't, we'll work beautifully together with whatever investments you've made as well. So, in addition to the productivity side, we talked yesterday about security as well, because what's critical is making sure that you don't just have the productivity aspects, but we actually provide you the most complete solution for security. We talked about SASE yesterday, and there's a ton of capability that we've built around security right within WebEx as well. So make sure to check it out, but you should know that whenever you use WebEx, it is the most secure solution that's out there in the market as it pertains to going out and immersively collaborating with one another. But one thing that you have to keep in mind is these are things that are easy to talk about. How are we at Cisco providing this experience to our employees? And our IT team put together a great kind of experience for all of us as employees of Cisco. And I want you to take a look at the video that we put together.
Hybrid work can be complicated. Introducing Hybrid Work in a Box. Bringing Cisco enterprise-grade security, survivable connectivity, application monitoring with AppDynamics, and collaboration technology in ultra-high definition to the hybrid worker. Only Cisco creates all the technology to solve hybrid work end-to-end.
Todd, you here?
I made it.
It's awesome, man. Look at that. It's magic. Take it away, buddy.
That is a commute I can get behind right there. Because we look at the way spaces are built, workspaces, we know that people aren't going to be returning to the same offices we left 3 years ago. They need to be radically more collaborative and more dynamic. And because of that, they need to be more intelligent and more connected. And we've been really focused on this idea of building best-in-class technology for hybrid workspaces, for the physical spaces, and bringing together collaboration, networking, and security technology for the best possible experience. So I want to show you all a little bit about the work we've been doing. So we're going to take a look at this. This is Cisco Smart Workspaces. It's an awesome new application for physical spaces, for the collaborative space. And we've got somebody coming into the office. So let's move over to the Meraki cameras if you can. So this is the Meraki Vision Portal. I don't know if anyone's seen it, but the Meraki camera portal, the Meraki camera portfolio is designed with intelligent cameras, and it's an incredibly powerful system, but it's very, very simple. And this Vision Portal is built specifically, not for the IT administrator, it's built specifically for the facilities teams and the security teams to give an amazing experience. And you can see the outside of the building, but I'm hoping that Nirav is going to make it to the office on time and pop up here in the bottom right. Nirav, are you there with us? Real is real.
Todd, I'm here. and I'm excited to talk about smart workspaces with you today.
All right, man.
Because as a hybrid worker myself, there are 3 things that are top of the mind for me. Does the workplace care about my safety? Is my experience as good or better than it was at pre-pandemic levels? And am I being productive when I'm coming into the office? And that's where smart workspaces comes in. It combines the power of awesome Cisco technology from DNS Spaces, Catalyst, WebEx, Meraki to turn your office into a smart space. So let's take a quick look. Now, as soon as I walk in, I can see important information such as the building occupancy, air quality, temperature, and humidity, all very important metrics for a building's health. I'm also greeted by this awesome 3D rich map experience that is location aware, so I can quickly see where I am, points of interest, as well as locations of available meeting rooms and desks nearby. Smart Workspaces lets me hold, book, and navigate to my most convenient meeting room. So I have a call coming up shortly, and I see this meeting room is available. It's a little bit warmer than I would have liked, but hey, good air quality, so I'll take it. So I'm gonna hold this meeting room for my call, and I'm gonna head over there, and I'll talk to you later. Back to you, Todd.
That's awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you, Nirav. Awesome. I gotta tell you, I love this hybrid workspace application because it is an amazing end user experience. We've been using it in our newest offices in New York, in San Francisco, and Chicago. But I also love it because it brings together powerful technology. It's pulling telemetry from Wi-Fi, both Meraki and Catalyst, from IoT and sensor and camera technology, and it's even pulling direct information off the WebEx boards, off the WebEx devices, into one really complete, really simple solution. But it doesn't compromise power. And we've seen the need for power in this return to work, in this return to office so much because every inch of our spaces is going to be needed for collaboration. We need to have every square foot covered. Good enough Wi-Fi coverage is not going to be sufficient, and we need to think about the connectivity needed not just for people, but for all of the IoT and camera and sensor devices. It's why we're investing so much in these areas for collaborative spaces, Wi-Fi 6E, private 5G as a service, trusted access, and all types of new Catalyst technology, including Meraki support. It's bringing the power of Cisco networking, power of Cisco technology to hybrid work. And there's a customer that really embodies that idea of embracing powerful technology. They've done amazing work with their collaboration, networking, and bringing in a holistic solution. So I'd love for you to take a look at the video from McLaren.
When every millisecond counts, the McLaren F1 team relies on WebEx.
In order to make an F1 car really competitive, you need lots of departments to talk together. We often work from the track, where we might be using small devices in small meeting rooms, whether or not you're working from your hotel room, on your laptop, or you're running around the place on your phone.
You can kind of click into the meeting rooms and then you'll see the air quality, the temperature, the sound in that room. So our users can kind of pick and choose which meeting rooms is suitable for their meeting. It brings people into focus and makes it all inclusive.
And Lando and Daniel would sit in their respective driver rooms and join fan calls, answering Q&As as they're going through and really engaging with the meetings, which makes it feel really personal.
It's a simple process, repeatable and reliable, whether you're using a Desk Pro, a Board Pro.
Letting engineers know that when they're talking about parts in the car, that's our intellectual property, that's how we're going to go and win championships. That communication is secured. We get visual prompts and reminders when you're on calls to see their end-to-end encrypted. It's almost like magic where everything comes together into one and users just have that seamless journey in WebEx.
Isn't that amazing? It's McLaren. My goodness. Oh. So, okay, let's go to the next type of workspaces that we want to reimagine, which are the office itself, right? And the way that the office looked in the past is not going to be the way that the office looks in the future, specifically because the role of the office might change a little bit. So if you think about one of the big areas that offices are going to change is this whole notion of shared spaces, where people aren't going to have dedicated desks. They might actually go out a couple days a week, and so you don't need to have a dedicated desk. You might want to do some hot desking and hoteling. That would be great to make sure that we can have the right kind of devices so that you can go to any desk, put your phone up there, it becomes your personalized desk. You've got the telemetry for the IT admin saying these many desks are actually being utilized. These ones are vacant. These ones have been sanitized, so that you have the telemetry on how to go out and use the office in the right way. So that's the shared space. The second area is the ideation space itself, which you saw Todd and I work on with this entire whiteboarding concept and having the right level of configuration and space management so that you can have the right level of creativity being fostered. And lastly, the conference room itself. Here's a stat that was really interesting. 98% of the meetings in the future will have at least one participant that's not going to be in the same physical space as everyone else. So one participant that's going to be remote. So the way that we design conference rooms can't just be for the people that are optimized in the room. You now, in the next wave, have to design conference rooms in ways that are optimizing for the people also not in the room, so that no one feels left out and everyone feels included. So once again, an array of devices that we've built, from hot desking to Navigator to the Board Pro to Room Kits to a panorama that actually gives you an immersive experience, whether you're in the room or outside of the room. And by the way, all of these, here's the crazy part, all of these are also calling endpoints. So they all act also as your telephone. Every single one of these devices. Isn't that cool? So all of our customers tell us that they love our devices, they love the software, but the reality is the world doesn't just revolve around Cisco. And you might have other investments that you've made. Let's say that you've made an investment in Microsoft Teams, or you've made an investment in Zoom, or you've made an investment in Google, and you're also using WebEx. How can they go out and configure their real estate workspaces so that they can make sure that those investments are also protected? So the interoperability with all of these vendors is something that's paramount. So what I'm going to do now is show you something that's super cool. Is I'm going to dial into our team in Oslo, but not via WebEx. I'm going to dial into our team in Oslo via a Microsoft Teams meeting. Okay, so I'm just going to hit one button. That's all you have to do. And I'm going to join the team in Oslo who actually manufactures these devices. And there's 3 people in the team. Hello, folks. What time is it? It's like some unearthly hour over there, like 2 in the morning or something. What time is it in Oslo?
Yeah, welcome to Oslo.
Okay, welcome to Oslo. So, the 3 of them are over here. We have a couple brand new capabilities that we want to show you. So firstly, we are in a Microsoft Teams meeting. We're going to show you a capability we've built called People Focus that'll enrich Microsoft Teams. And one more time? One more time. It's kind of a bummer when you own the network, and you own the application, and you own the hardware. There you go, they're back. Imagine if we had network connectivity in Las Vegas, what would happen? You would have these 3 people that would automatically zoom in with People Focus. You'd be able to see each one of them in a close-up view after you've seen them in a close-up view. And by the way, the reason this is so special and important, it does require the internet, though. That's the bummer. The reason it's so important is because we have actually abstracted the capabilities from WebEx and made it available in the hardware stack so that you can enrich even our competitors' products with that capability. So People Focus, which was a capability that was built, is no longer going to be just limited to WebEx. You can also enrich Microsoft Teams with it. So that's pretty cool. I wish we had shown you the demo and it worked, but there's no connectivity. So can you give the team a round of applause regardless, because they worked really hard on this? Thank you. That's the thing with live demos. You know, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But this whole notion of interoperability is something that we're really committed to. And another company that we admire so much that we're working with so that we can actually have a tight integration, not just when you're in the office or when you're at home, but also when you're on the road, is Apple. And we're integrated with CarPlay. So take a look at this video.
Okay, Mark, why don't you go ahead and get us started off today?
Breeze through your workday, easily taking meetings from Mac to iPhone. And iPhone to Apple CarPlay.
Let's see if we can get that on the schedule for next week.
See what's up next with a glance. And join with ease. This is work that flows with you, wherever you take your meetings.
How cool is that? You're going to have WebEx, you can start a meeting on WebEx, then you can make sure that you move it to your phone, get in your car and use CarPlay, and you'll be able to be in the meeting, all in one continuous motion. We're so excited to work with Apple. Apple does such a phenomenal job of obsessing on the user experience just like we do, and we're honored to make sure that we continue this partnership moving forward.
And we know that user experience is important, not just for the end user, but in order to make hybrid work really work, we need the best possible IT experience. And that really means, in so many ways, bringing together networking and collaboration. And no one at this moment knows that more importantly than Jeetu Patel. He feels it viscerally right now, how important it is for networking and collaboration technology to work seamlessly together. And that's why...
I'm going to blame it on Las Vegas, okay?
And that's why he and I together are so excited to introduce an integration between Thousand Eyes and WebEx to provide a unified IT experience to troubleshoot and proactively predict issues like that before they happen.
Now, the thing that's actually really important about Control Hub, which is that's the central place that an IT administrator goes to find out in real time what's happening. Are people finding good audio quality? Are people finding bad audio quality, video quality, so on and so forth? The challenge we've had is we've never known in the past why something's going the way that it's going. And now, with the integration with Thousand Eyes, that changes completely. Because not only can you tell that there's something that there's a user that's experiencing bad video quality, but what is the reason for which they're experiencing bad video quality, which in this particular case, once again, is the network and the ISP. And we can quickly escalate that to Todd right from WebEx with a message. And then, Todd, can you please just fix the network, man?
Sure, man. Blame the network. It's typical. It's typical. But this is an amazing tool, and it allows us to see, in this case, it actually is an ISP node with high latency, and Jeetu can send us a link, and we can engage the networking team immediately. A network admin can operate in the tool that they're most comfortable with, right in Thousand Eyes. We can see that, in fact, it is an ISP node with high latency, and we can even drill in and see how frequently this has been happening, what's causing it, and exactly really what's going on, all the way down to the individual node within the service provider. So it's a service provider problem. We can call our service provider, or we can work to route around this using SD-WAN. It's an incredibly powerful tool. It's simple, and it's a tight integration between networking and collaboration.
So, before we close, let's take a look at the poll that we did earlier on Slido. So, an overwhelming majority of you are figuring it out, except that 30% of you believe that you're hybrid work rock stars and have figured it out. So that's fantastic. You should make sure that you share the best practices with everyone else. But the reality over here is most organizations are still trying to figure it out. And here's the thing that's really important with hybrid work. We have to make hybrid work work, because we've made a ton of progress over the course of the past couple of years. And not just making sure that people are productive from wherever they are, but it's so important to society, because when you have flexibility in how and where you work, you actually get more people involved in the global workforce, because someone who in the village in Bangladesh can now participate in the global economy just like someone in the heart of Silicon Valley. And that creates for a more inclusive future for all. And so we need to make sure. Thank you. We'd love to be a partner for you in making sure that we figure out everything from your technology to the cultural changes that need to be made, and then also the space configuration that needs to happen. We're honored to have you folks as customers. Todd, any closing thoughts from you?
Look, at Cisco, we're passionate about hybrid work. We're passionate about bringing together networking, security, collaboration technology. We believe we have the broadest portfolio, but we know it's your teams that are really going to make this happen. They're going to bring the solution together, that are going to bring the cultural changes together. And I really believe working with all of you, we can break down these barriers, drop the borders. We can enable everyone, no matter where they are or who they are or where they work, to bring their whole and best self to work and power an inclusive future for all. Thank you so much for the time today. Thank you, everyone.
You've been a great audience. Thank you all.
Hybrid work is here. It's there. It's everywhere. But for someone to be able to work from here, there has to be someone here, making sure everything is safe, secure, consistent. So log in from here or here, assured that someone is here, ready to fix anything. anytime, anywhere, even here. That's because nobody, and I mean nobody, makes hybrid work work better. Cisco, the bridge to possible.
Please welcome to the stage SVP and GM, Global Customer Experience, Tim Maya Tsubaya.
Great to see you here in person for the first time in 3 years. You, our customers and partners, are the driving force behind everything we do at Cisco. And having you here live makes this all the more exciting. Let me begin by saying thank you. Thank you for choosing Cisco and Cisco's ecosystem to be your strategic partner to help you drive towards your business outcomes. In today's world, there are endless opportunities for you to embrace your possible. And in today's hybrid world, embracing your possible means reimagining all your experiences across Cisco. And as you think about it, when you embrace your opportunities across Cisco, one of the key things here is all of this is possible. All of this is possible if we could take all your experiences and turn it into one seamless motion. Because that is what you want, that is what you've been asking for, and because that is what is possible. And this is my #1 mission. And I'm all in, and Cisco is all in. We want to make your experience simple by transforming our technologies so you can innovate for your customers, so you can thrive and grow in today's hybrid world. So let's talk about simplification. Most of you are familiar with the services that we provide today. Trusted support. Come on, who does not love tech? Thank you. Expert consulting with our business critical services. This is our advisory offering and various different digital properties that you interact with. But you've given us one bit of feedback. Make it simple, make it easy to consume. And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to bring this all together. We're going to bring this all together under the package of success tracks. We're going to have everything built right in to meet your every needs exactly where you are when you need it. We're going to take the guesswork out of what you need when you need. And the best part about all of this, we are going to keep the expert engagements built right in so you can receive any touch that you want from a human at any given point in time. But we didn't just stop there. We took all our services and made it digitally available. And as we continue to innovate with CX Cloud, what we ended up doing is bringing all these services together. Your one-stop shop for everything. Digitally available real-time at your fingertips. Visibility, insights, automation, all built in. And the best part about this is we also made sure that it is available with our partners via the PX Cloud experience. So that way, you can take the operational insights that our partners give you, the technology insights that come in from CX Cloud, and bring it all together so there's just one interface for you. And as you continue to grow and think about how you can be more agile, one of the key things is talent drives agility. And 75% of you have said that some kind of transformation is either stalled or slowed down for you because of the lack of available talent. And you're familiar with the Learning and Certification Program. And you've also said, take the Learning and Certification Program and make it social, make it interactive, modernize it. And that is exactly what we're doing. So introducing Cisco U. Your personalized learning platforms. Oh, I thought the rings were going to come down. They didn't really come down. But your personalized learning platform, where learners Partners, customers, content creators can all collaborate. The next time you go to take your certifications, your CCIE certification, your CCNA certification, your DevNet certifications, it's all right there. And here's the key thing. On-demand labs are built right into Cisco U. How cool is that? Go check out the demo at the World of Solutions. This is Cisco U, the power of learning at your fingertips. And as you think about innovating for your customers, there are multiple different challenges that you've asked us to solve. You said bring it all together, from incubation all the way to day one operations, based on your use cases. So we've continued to invest in your use cases. And here are a few examples of the latest use cases that we are launching with Cisco Scrum Services. And this is adding to a portfolio that takes the entire portfolio up to 36. And we are going to continue to add use cases as we receive feedback from you, as you tell us which ones you want us to drive behind. Let me give you a few examples. Automation. You said leverage AI ML to remove those mundane administrative tasks. And we're doing exactly that. Another prime example, routed optical networking. One of you right here is already using it, and you've told me that you're seeing 30% faster case resolution. All of this is to increase the speed of your technology transformation. And speaking of transformation, one of our customers right here has been on the forefront of it. Nationwide. Nationwide is one of the largest insurance and financial services companies. And we've been working with them to digitize their customer journeys so they can provide a seamless experience for their customers in turn. I'd like to bring on stage Nationwide's VP of Network Services, Mike Jones. Come on over, Mike. Good to see you, Mike.
Hi, how are you?
Good. So, Mike, before I begin, I've been told that you use larger audiences, 60,000 plus. Tell me a little more.
I do this every day. No, Mike Jones, Columbus, Ohio. I've been around technology for 25 plus years by way of Atlanta, Georgia. Go Falcons. One big thing for me is I'm an ultimate girl dad. So it's a little bit about myself.
That's awesome. Mike, so what business impacts are you trying to achieve with Nationwide? And why did you choose Cisco?
So my Nationwide has a zero business impact North Star. And by way of North Star, we leverage Cisco's best of breed and best of suite technologies to accomplish that.
That's awesome. And of all the different services that we provide, which one do you think is the most valuable? I'm going to ask you to choose one.
If I had to choose one, I'd have to say BCS.
Business Critical Services, that's our advisory offering. Why?
Well, what I would say is with BCS, we're able to get those operational insights, detect and find anomalies before they become impactful, and that's paramount for Nationwide and their members.
That's great. So proactive.
Absolutely.
So one final question for you, Mike. Do you think doing business with Cisco is simple?
Yes and no.
Tell me more.
You know, it hasn't always been smooth. But I'll tell you this, from what we've seen this week, the presentation today, it's clear the customer voice is being heard, and I'm extremely excited about the future.
That's great. Thank you so much, Mike, and thank you for joining us.
Yep,
thank you.
Thank you.
You, our customers, have been asking for this. And like I said earlier, this is my #1 mission. One seamless experience. And I'm all in. And Cisco is all in. And talking about somebody else who's all in to bring you an amazing experience. Let me welcome on stage Cisco's CMO, Carrie Palin.
Good morning. Okay, so we are the last session on main stage, and I'm so